Hey, good morning. It is a beautiful day out here in the neighborhood. Jesus is Lord all day in my neighborhood and yours, I hope. Word works. Now, today, we're going to unravel a lot of this religious bunk that has been taught about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over in the book of Daniel, chapter 3. First thing that you need to get about this is God didn't do it. In fact, God's business was to deliver them, not to create this trial. We've been studying the last few weeks that God is not the tempter of evil, neither tempteth he any man, because there's no evil in God. So religion teaches, and I say religious bull's what that is, that God planned this to see if they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn. That's a bunch of bull. This was designed of the enemies of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel. Daniel just didn't happen to be there at that particular day because they had been selected by the king to help rule the nation, and they found that in every question that they were asked, they were 10 times better than everybody else over there in that country. So this is designed of the evil men and the evil enemy to destroy the testimony of God's goodness and any evil thing is. So they came up with this decree that anytime there's music played, they were supposed to bow down to this old statue that the king had made. Now, if you catch me looking off that way, I'm looking at the hummingbirds flying around this morning. They fight over the food, like some believers, they fight over the blessings of God. There's enough to go around. Okay, now, so Nebuchadnezzar just got all upset, and it says here, because they came to him and said, "Certain Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these men, O king, have not regarded thee, nor served thy gods, nor worshiped that golden image which thou set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar, his rage and fury, commanded, "Hey, you go get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." And when they brought him before him, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, "Is this true, that you're not going to worship my gods? Is this true, that you're going to serve your God? Now, if you be ready to worship my gods, I'm going to set you free." But watch this. "But if you are not ready, you shall be cast that same hour into the midst of the burning furnace. And who is that God who is able to deliver you out of my hands?" Now watch this. This is not about a trial that God set up. This is about God that honors his word and your words and delivers you from a trial. Not puts you in it, but delivers you from it. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said, "Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we're not even careful to answer this matter." In other words, they said, "It don't matter to us what you're going to do. We're just going to go and do what God's told us to do anyway." Boy, I'll tell you what, and then watch verse 17. This is the key verse to this story here. "If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will," key there, will, deliver us. Now, see, people read that and say, "Well, if it be so, we're willing to burn for God." That is not what they said. Read your Bible. This is Daniel chapter 3, verse 16. If you do that, if you heat up that fire, that's all right. If you get bent out of shape over this, that's all right with us. We're not going to take that care because, watch, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will. I love that. He will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But be it known, if not, O king, we will not serve thy gods. We will not worship the golden image which thou hast set up." And boy, you talk about getting Nebuchadnezzar upset. I mean, his visage changed to where it didn't even look like a man. Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And he commanded that they make that furnace 7 times hotter than it ever was before because of what they said. Not only is our God able, but our God will. A lot of Christians miss that. Well, our God's able to heal. Everybody knows that, but he will. My God is able to supply my needs according to his riches and glory, and he will. But he will supply my needs. And he get all bent out of shape. So they commanded the mighty men to take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and bind them up, tied their hands and feet and everything, and cast them into the burning fire furnace. Now watch this. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew the men that threw them into the furnace. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound up, tied up, fell down in the midst of the furnace, in the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose, saying in haste, he spake and said unto the counselors, Did we not cast three men bound into the fire? They answered and said, Yes, king, three. The king answered and said, Lo, I see four men walking. Now I have to finish this tomorrow. A lot of religious people have come along and said, well, that was Jesus in the fire to comfort them. It doesn't say that. All it says was there was four men in there, and the size and the looks of the fourth man was like the Son of God. Well, Jesus he is the Son of God, but it doesn't say that's who it was. It could have just been an angel. Now, they were totally delivered. Oh, I wished I had a long time to do this, but we'll come back and do it tomorrow. They were totally delivered. They didn't have the smell of smoke on them when they came out of there. Not one hair of their head was singed. Not any of their clothes was burned. The only thing that got burned up was what was holding them in bondage. And Jesus showed up because of their words, not because of his love, not because of his concern. He didn't dream this thing up, so he didn't show up to get them out of what he dreamed up. He came to get them out of what the enemy was trying to do to them. That's what he comes for. And he comes for your words. Glory be to God. That fourth man that was in that fire, whoever he was or whatever he was, came for their words. Our God is able, and our God will deliver us. So today go around saying, my God is able, yes, and he will deliver me, yes, and get rid of that religious teaching, and I'll have a good day, and you'll have a good day, remembering all day that, hey, Jesus is Lord. Thank God. The Word works.